These are speeches by the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe. Just 1 minute. Give me a minute over here. Give me 1 minute. 1 minute. Fix the audio. See, it's just terrible. I have to fix this before if I don't fix the audio settings, then it comes out to be very weak. And I did not fix the audio settings. Okay, at least this will be okay. From my father's speeches in the Hasidic exodus from Egypt, going out of Egypt, we have to remember every day that we left Egypt. So one of the 6 things you're supposed to remember every day that we left, God took us out of Egypt. Hasidically, this means there's a mitzvah of telling Hasidic stories and to sense and feel the story in your deepest inwardness. You have to know that every story of a Hasidic story is a guide for living. Every story has to bring forth a good character trait or inner enthusiasm, a motivation for doing the commandments in a better way, in a more complete way, in a more beautiful way. And, and that should enable the person who hears the story to sense how pleasant and good the Torah is, especially from the viewpoint of Hasidut, the Hasidic teachings. That's going out of Egypt. That is today. Let's do tomorrow. 1 minute, I'll do this here. Oh. This month, the coming month is the month of Elul. That's the month of introspection, of reckoning. How do they call it? Inventory. In the physical world, if a businessman wants to conduct his affairs properly and with profit, so he has to regularly take an accounting and correct any deficiencies, right? He sees how much he spent, how much overhead, how much he spent on rent, on help, on how much he put out for the things that he's selling, and how much profit he made. Maybe somebody's stealing, maybe there's something wrong, maybe you have to close down some department, maybe you have to improve advertising, whatever. End of the year inventory. Likewise, in spiritual service of God, throughout the year, the Jewish people are occupied with Torah and doing commandments and trying to develop good character traits. The month of Elul is the month we sort of take a stop a little. We take a step back, and every Jew, according to his abilities, whether he's a scholar or he's a businessman, he works in others, if he goes out in the streets and he has to work, you have to make an accounting of your soul and everything that occurred in the course of the year. Every person has to know his good qualities and strengthen them. He also has to be aware of what's lacking in himself in the service of God and correct these things. Be honest with yourself. Through this excellent preparation, a person merits a good, sweet year, materially and spiritually. The example is given, this thing of inventory. It's given, and that generally speaking, when a person makes an inventory of his business, so a lot of people, they hire an accountant. And the accountant, he makes an inventory objectively. He doesn't really care if, his client loses money the year or if he makes money. He doesn't get emotional about it. It's not involved in that emotionally. It's not an accounting of his business. So in a way, that's good because he can be objective. In a way, it's not good is that he does his work and he closes the ledger, he reports what it is, and he goes home. He has his own business. On the other hand, if the person who owns the business, he is doing the accounting, so it could be that maybe he's going to, hide over a few things, maybe he'll gloss over a few things. But if it comes out the sum total, and also he's not professional, right? And the sum total comes out that he's losing money. So he gets what am I doing? He starts pacing the floor. What have gone wrong? What went wrong over here? Well, maybe I should close the whole thing. I've been working the whole year, and this is our profits that we made. So a proper inventory has to be both. First of all, you have to be objective and look at the good things and the bad things. But on the other hand, you have to be subjective. Subjective means that it's really important, what I have to fix up. What I have to fix up. Because in this business, unlike a business, you can close the business. Here, the only business you should close is not serving God, but the devotion you give to bad things, that you have to close, right? You have to fire this worker and you have to improve this worker, you have to educate this person. So that's the month of Elul. The month of Elul is making a proper inventory of all of your deeds, speech, and thought in the previous year, as much as you can. You don't have to sit down in one day and do it, though. You have a whole month of thinking about correcting yourself. And it has to be in a way of understanding that God is very, very understanding and he's very merciful. And if you did do any sins, one of the main reasons is because God made it easy. He gave us an evil impulse, selfishness, and things like that. So, true, we have free will. And if we chose wrong, that's bad. But we have to say, okay, listen, God, I chose the wrong things, but I didn't invent these bad things. And I didn't invent that. I mean, okay, have mercy. And God does have mercy. That's the whole point. And now, story.